Hello, everybody. Welcome to Tuesday. The S&P 500 was up 0.9% today. Was opened up really nicely because we got a report from wholesale inflation, which was lower than expected. And it's called the PPI, Producers Price Index report. And so that was great. The next report that we'll get on inflation will be called PCE, Personal Consumption Expenditure Index. This is the favorite vehicle that the Federal Reserve looks at when they're looking at inflation. And that's going to be reported here at the end of the month. So we'll see if that comes out, at a decent number. Is that lower than it was? Maybe lower than the expectations? That could drive the market, sort of like what we saw today. And then, of course, we get the CPI report for November on December 13th. The Cleveland Fed does a projection on CPI during the month, and they make adjustments to it all the way through the month. But right now, they have CPI for November targeted at 7.6%. If it happens to stay there, that would be a really good thing because, as you recall from last week, October CPI was 7.75. So if it drops down to 7.6 in December, I think the market starts to see a pattern there. Short pattern, only a couple months, but at least going in the right direction. We'll have to see how the Federal Reserve responds to that because they meet on the next day and come out and speak on December 14th. So obviously, what do they say about that and how do they react? But altogether, we're seeing slowly but surely some decent things happening in the inflation report. And when you dig into the inflation report, there's an awful lot of pieces that have come down at a lower rate as far as that goes, especially pieces that are counted a lot. The one piece that's holding up there is called shelter, which is rents, and they consider if you own a home, how much you'd have to pay in rent to own, to be in that house. And rents, the way they collect them through a survey, tends to be a little bit lagging. When you look at kind of average rents for what's going on in listings, then you're starting to see some decrease in those rents, nationwide. So maybe that continues to eventually push down on that inflation number too. So, we'll see how this plays out. But good things today, good, direction for inflation, which is definitely the big push here. So we'll see what happens. The market's definitely had a pretty good run here in a fairly short period of time. So we had a nice rest yesterday. Hopefully that's enough to allow us to run for a little bit, but we'll see. So look forward to talking to you tomorrow. Thank you.